So in this problem we have that to prove or disapprove that the quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. And here I have drawn the parallelogram which they're meaning to say. So now we know that if ABCD has to be a parallelogram, so if ABCD has to be a parallelogram, then line segment AB should be equal to line segment DC, and line segment AD should be equal to line segment BC. So let me write that. So line segment AB equal to line segment DC, and line segment AD should be equal to line segment BC. Remember, this is not the actual answer. This is just what we think to prove that it is a parallelogram. So right now, let me just make this all a little smaller. So we know that if the slope of two lines are equal, then the lines are parallel. And to prove that AB is parallel to DC, we can prove the slope of AB should be equal to the slope of DC. So let me write that down for you. The slope of a line segment AB is equal to slope of DC. Since we have this, we can know the first. So, for example, in here, slope of AB. So A and B are here should be equal to slope of D and C. So let me just make this all smaller and put it over, I guess, here. So now we have to find the slope of line segment AB. To find the slope of a line segment or anything, we use and then S of line segment AB equal to, and we always use the equation, slopes equation, y2 minus y1 equal to x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Sorry if I said equal to. So now we can substitute the values. So in here, the values to substitute it should be 3 minus 3 minus 3 by 5 minus minus 2, or 5 minus, minus 2, or 5 plus 2. So we can simplify that even more to get our real whole number answer. Keep that to a side, and then it would be equal to 0 by 7, which is equal to 0. Now, since we found the slope of a line segment AB equal to 0, we should find out that the slope of line segment DC should be equal. If not, then it's not a parallelogram. So now we have the S. Well, let me get a different color here. S of. Now we're going to find line segment DC equal to, and we can use the same formula, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. I'm not going to write that down since it is at the top of here. And then we just substitute the values like normal, which is negative 1 minus minus 1 by 3 minus minus 3. Since this has a lot of negatives and minus everywhere, we're going to change that into plus. So this could be a plus, and that could be a plus. So you can substitute the value as 0 by 6, which is equal to 0, which is still equal to 0. I just make this all smaller. So I'm still leaving the values over here. Make this even more smaller. Move that. Okay. So now, since these two slopes are equal, we can say that the line segment AB should be equal to line segment DC, which we found that out. So now we should look at the other side. For example, in this it is this parallelogram. We know that the slope of AD should be equal to the slope of BC. So here AD should be equal to BC. So now let's write the same thing as we wrote for the bottom one. So the slope of, and it should be a line segment AD, sorry if I didn't say that, equal to the same thing, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 should be 3 minus 1 by negative 2 minus 3. Negative 2 minus 3. Since we have a lot of minuses here like before, we can change them into plus. So we know that this could be plus and that could be plus. So I'm just going to make this equation a little bit smaller, move it to the side. And then let me take the same color. Okay, so then we know that this is 4 by 1, which is equal to 4, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Equal to 4. And now we need to find the slope of the line segment BC. If we find this is equal, then we know that this equation is a parallelogram. Let me take a different color. This is a parallelogram. If we find that this is equal to, because in a parallelogram, if the slope of two lines are equal, the lines should be parallel. So now we should do the slope of line segment BC. Slope of line segment BC should be equal to the same formula up here, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. I'm not going to write that here since it'll take a lot of space, but I'm still keeping the formula up so you can read it. So then I'm going to substitute the values 3 minus 1 by 5 minus 3. So we can still make it 3. So we can make it 4 by 2, which is equal to 2. Oh no, we got a wrong. They two are not equal. Since these two are not equal, but line segment AB is parallel to line segment DC, but line segment AD is not parallel to line segment BC. So let me write what I said right now. So since we know that line segment AB is parallel to line segment DC, but line segment AD not parallel to, a little bit smaller, not parallel to line segment BC. So I disapprove. So it would be I disapprove. So I'm going to circle disapprove there. So I disapprove that quadrilateral ABCD is not a parallelogram. Okay, since this quadrilateral ABCD has only one set of parallel sides, it is a trapezoid. This is just a hint for the test for the study guide you have. This is Anirudh Praveen, and that's all for now. See you until the next video.